Good morning, student. In this video, I want to discuss the translation process, which is also called the process of polymerization of the amino acid. Now, during the transcription process, normally the mRNA is already synthesized, and this mRNA, after synthesized, they are inside the nucleus. Now, this mRNA transferred from the nucleus to the cytoplasm in case of eukaryote. But in case of prokaryote, although they are in the same cytoplasm, so that is why the process of this translation occurs in the cytoplasm of the cell. Now, what are the basic requirements for this process? Of course, this process is the polymerization of the amino acid. So that is why the first and most important requirement, it is the ribosome. The ribosome, which is also called the protein factory of the cell. It is also called the protein factory of the cell. That means the protein molecules or the polypeptide chains are synthesized there in the ribosome. And these ribosomes are of different types in case of prokaryotes and eukaryotes. These ribosome molecules, ribosomes are the most important organelles. In case of prokaryotes, these are of 70S type, and in case of eukaryotes, these are of 80S type. What is this S? S stands for the Svedberg unit, or it is the sedimentation coefficient. On the basis of it is differentiated on the basis of their molecular weight, and that is why they are 70S, 80S. And they again consist of two subunits. The 70S consists of the larger subunit, that is called 50S subunit, and another is the 30S subunit, is the smaller subunit. It is the smaller subunit and it is the larger subunit. In case of eukaryote, the 80S again divided into 60S, this is the larger subunit, and the 40S, it is the smaller subunit. And when they are in active condition and when protein synthesis does not occur at the time, they are normally separated from one another. But during the process of translation or the polymerization of the amino acid, they remain together for this process when they are active. Now, these ribosomes mainly consist of the RNA molecules. These are the RNAs present inside this. So, this ribosome consists of the RNAs, either it is 28S or 23S, 5S. So, these are the different RNAs which are present there in the ribosome. Now, this ribosome mainly helpful for this process of polymerization of the amino acid inside the cytoplasm. Now, the next important molecule, next important thing, that is your amino acids. And the amino acids are normally of different types. It may be your acidic amino acid, basic amino acid, and in the genetic code we have already discussed all the amino acids. Now, these amino acids, because these amino acids are normally present there in the cytoplasm. In the cytoplasm, they are stored, or the amino acid pool is there. When we take the protein molecule, the protein gets digested, and after the digestion, it converted into the amino acid. So that is why the amino acids are nothing but the building block of the protein. So that is why when the proteins are broken down, then the amino acids are formed, and when the amino acids combine together, the proteins are formed. So they are present in the cytoplasm. And these amino acids, it may be your acidic amino acid, it may be your basic amino acid, or it may be your normal neutral amino acid. So normal amino acid normally consists of, suppose this is the R group and another H group and another amino group must be there, and another COOH or carboxylic acid group. So that is why this is the amino group, this is the acid group. So that is why it is commonly called the amino acid. And when two amino group are there, then it is basic. When two acidic group are there, then it is acidic amino acid. So whatever it may be, but these amino acids, they are normally present in the cytoplasm, and during the synthesis of the polypeptide chain, they attach with the tRNA and it is activated. After that, they join together with the help of the peptide bonds. So these bonds which are formed here, we shall discuss later on. Now that is why the amino acids are normally 20 types and 20 amino acids are present there in the cytoplasm. Now the next important thing, that is your tRNA. And the tRNA, or it is called the transfer RNA. It is called transfer RNA and it is commonly called the adapter molecule. This is the adapter molecule during this process. So this tRNA molecule, normally they are little bit complex in structure in comparison to the mRNA. In case of mRNA, they are straight chains, but the tRNA molecules are normally little bit complex. Their structure is like this. They have the different loops on the left side and another here and another loop is here. Then this is the anticodon side. And this anticodon side, it binds with the mRNA during protein synthesis. Suppose in case of mRNA there is the specific code and this code is AUG, then the anticodon here is UAC. So the tRNA having UAC, it will attach with the AUG in the mRNA. And another end where the amino acid actually binds here, and this is called the CCAN. And this CCAN normally it binds with the amino acid, and normally this amino acid is now transferred from the cytoplasm and it normally goes to the ribosome, and in the ribosome it attaches with the smaller subunit and it forms the polypeptide chain one after another. Now next important molecule, that is your mRNA. Now the mRNA, there is no need to discuss about this mRNA because in the transcription process we have already discussed the formation of the mRNA from the DNA molecule. So this mRNA, it is a straight chain structure and it consists of the triplet codes, and these triplet codes are present here. Suppose the first one may be AUG, CG, CAUG, CA, like this. So this polypeptide chain, it has a start codon and at the end there is a stop codon. So the start codon and stop codon is there. That is why the polypeptide chain starts from here and it ends here. So this mRNA molecule, which are normally synthesized inside the nucleus in case of eukaryote, and in case of prokaryote, they are normally nuclear region, but directly they go out of the nuclear region and the ribosomes are there in the cytoplasm, and that is why the synthesis occurs here. Now in case of eukaryote, they are present inside the nucleus after their formation from the DNA, as the DNA molecule is present here. So that is why the mRNA is synthesized there inside the nucleus. Then after the formation of the mRNA, this mRNA now comes out of the nucleus and this mRNA goes to the ribosome. Now it attaches with the ribosome and the amino acid pool is there. So that is why the whole process occurs here in the cytoplasm of the cell. So that is why this mRNA molecule, these are called the messenger molecules, or it is commonly called the messenger RNA. Why they are called messenger? We have already discussed, because they carry the message from the DNA to the ribosome, or which type of polypeptide chain, which sequence of the amino acids are to be formed there in the ribosome. It is normally decided by this messenger RNA, because the message it carries from DNA, and this message is transferred to the ribosome for the synthesis. So that is why these molecules are very much important and they are very much accurate in the transformation process So whatever message they are received from DNA, suppose this is your code of the DNA, the template code, and in the template code, suppose it is your ATC, then the tRNA will be your, mRNA will be UAG, and in case of tRNA, the anticodon will be your AUC. So this is a very accurate sequence, because if there is ATC in DNA template and there must be UAG in the mRNA and there must be in the tRNA AUC, and accordingly this UAG, a specific amino acid will be bind there, because it is very much specific, as we have already discussed in the genetic code, and a specific amino acid can be bind with that particular mRNA, tRNA. So that is why it is already pre-decided or prefixed. Now there are some enzymes which are involved in this process, and in the biological system the role of the enzymes are very much important, because without the enzymes the catalysis process cannot be done. So there are only three important enzymes, that is amino acid synthetase. There are some enzymes which are very much important in this process. The first enzyme, that is the amino acid synthetase. Then second one, amino acid transferase, which help in the transfer of this amino acid during this process. Then third one, translocase. So these are the enzymes which are normally involved in this process. Now next, that is the for the requirement of the energy, because there is the requirement of energy in this process. So for the supply of the energy, the ATP, adenosine triphosphate, and GTP molecules are normally involved, and they break and form the AMP, and the energy is released, and this energy is utilized for the process of formation of the peptide bond between the amino acid. So these are the important molecules and important materials for the process of translation. Now we shall discuss in detail how this process occurs inside the ribosome in the cytoplasm of the cell. Now, first process or the first phase of this translation process, that is the activation of amino acids. First the amino acids, which are, suppose this is the cell and this is the nucleus, the amino acids are normally present inside the cytoplasm. So this is called amino acid pool, and in the cytoplasm there are all 20 amino acids are present. So these amino acids, when there is no protein synthesis occur, these are normally in inactive state. They are in inactive state, but during the process of protein synthesis, the amino acids must be activated. So this process is called activation of the amino acid, and this amino acid now transfer to tRNA. So here, suppose this is the amino acid, and there are tRNA molecule also present there in the cytoplasm. So these are the tRNA molecule, and this tRNA molecule, they are also during inactive condition, they remain free. But when the protein synthesis starts, at that time these amino acids, they combine with the ATP molecule. The ATP means it supply the energy, because without energy the bond cannot be formed with the enzyme. So that is why this amino acid plus ATP molecule plus enzyme, that is the amino acid synthetic enzyme. This enzyme, it is commonly called amino acid synthesis enzyme, and this amino acid synthesis enzyme, it binds with this amino acid and ATP, and the ATP breaks into AMP and the phosphate group is separated. Now this amino acid and AMP, they form a complex that is called amino acid tRNA complex. It will be formed later, but first it combines with the enzyme. This enzyme binds here. Now this complex, amino acid AMP enzyme complex, this complex now binds with the tRNA molecule. The CCA site, or it is the amino acid site of the tRNA. Suppose this is the tRNA, this is the anticodon site, and this is the amino acid binding site, CCA site, and in this site normally the amino acid are attached. And now this complex, then amino acid and tRNA, they bind together. After they bind together, then the AMP is released and also energy released from here. Now only amino acid, this is the tRNA, and amino acid binds here. So if this amino acid, this is the tRNA plus amino acid or amino acid tRNA complex, it is called adenylate amino acid complex, and this complex now proceed towards the ribosome for transfer of this amino acid to form the polypeptide chain. Now second phase, that is the initiation of polypeptide chain. Now as you know, the mRNA which carries the message, and it is coming out from the DNA, coming out from the nucleus, and it proceeds towards the cytoplasm. In the cytoplasm, the ribosome is also there, and this ribosome, suppose this is the ribosome molecule, this is the ribosome, and this ribosome molecule have two subunits, and these two subunits, they are normally free from one another. But this initiation of the polypeptide chain normally starts here in the cytoplasm when this tRNA amino acid complex, it normally attached to the smaller subunit first. This is the smaller subunit. Now it attached to the smaller subunit, this part, it is the smaller subunit. Now first the amino acid tRNA complex, it comes to and bind with this smaller subunit first, and this attached with this first codon. Now this amino acid which is attached to this tRNA, it is now attached here, and this mRNA having the code AUG, it has a specific tRNA which is having the anticodon of UAC. So that is why the UAC anticodon tRNA, it contains a the specific amino acid, and this amino acid is called methionine, because this methionine amino acid can only be bind here. No any other amino acid is there because it is UAC, and this UAC will bind to AUG only. So that is why this is the first initiation complex, and after that when they attach here, then the larger subunit now binds here, and when this larger subunit binds here, then the process starts. That is called initiation. Now after the initiation, then the elongation of the polypeptide chain. Now next, look at here. This figure is very much clear. Suppose the first tRNA, it normally brings a specific amino acid, suppose this one, serine, and this amino acid, now it is bind with this tRNA. When it is attached with here, it normally remains here. But when second one comes, suppose it is GCA, its anticodon is CG, it is your CGU, and this CGU, it has the alanine amino acid, And this alanine amino acid, when it comes here, it normally binds with the previous amino acid here, and this serine combines with this one. Now, here, this is the next codon. Next codon is GUU, and the anticodon for tRNA it is CAA. Then the amino acid is valine, and when it attaches here, it is just like a platform, and here it normally attaches to this. And when this valine amino acid reaches here, automatically this alanine form the peptide bond with the valine, and the valine will attach here to the alanine. So in this way, one after this is the first amino acid, second amino acid, third amino acid, fourth amino acid, fifth amino acid, sixth amino acid, all the amino acids, they combine together with the help of the peptide bond. These are called the peptide bond. And when the large number of peptide bonds are formed, then large number of amino acids they join together, then that is called the polypeptide chain. So in this way, one after the next one, suppose AAU. Now the amino acid, the tRNA containing UAA anticodon, it has the amino acid ASN. Now it will gradually come here, it is attached here, and when it will attach here, automatically the amino acid, it form the bond with the valine. So this way, the peptide bonds are formed continuously one after another till the last one, and in the last part, there is the stop codon. So when there is the stop codon, there is no any specific amino acid and no tRNA for this stop codon. So there is no anticodon, so there is no amino acid. So that is why when the stop codon reaches here, so it will not bind with any tRNA. So that is why the chain of the polypeptide chain now terminated here. Now that is why that is called termination or chain termination when the stop codon reaches. So when the stop codon present, then it terminates the chain and the polypeptide chain now released from here. Suppose this is a polypeptide chain, these are the amino acids, and it is released from here. And before this initiation codon, there are some codons which are actually non-transcript or non-translated sequence, and these are normally do not translated. And after stop, if there will be any codon, then they will not be translated. So in this way, the polypeptide chains are formed, and the different polypeptide chains are formed separately, and these polypeptide chains they combine together to form the complex protein. Sometimes more complex protein, the tertiary and quaternary structures are there. So that is why number of polypeptide chains they form separately but combine together to form a functional protein. So that is why in this way we normally completed the expression of the gene, or it is called gene expression, how the DNA expressed to form the protein molecules or the characters is large. So I hope you benefited from this video. If you really benefited from this video, then please like it.